What's up, everybody? What's good? What's going down? How's everybody doing on this Mother's Day evening? Yeah, I was talking about, man, I probably shouldn't do something. It's Mother Day, all that good stuff. But you know what? All y'all mothers, y'all probably done been out there. Y'all done kicked it. Y'all done did y'all's thing. It's time to sit down and chill and listen to some big game James on Silver and Blue Nation talk about this little mini camp that we had going on. Shout out to everybody, first of all, who's in here right now. Appreciate everybody. Young, Tenacious, Muggs Maxwell, Sean East, Sheila Neal, Kevin Beck, Gambino. What's up as usual, Boo Thing? You know, yeah, she said not too long. Boo Thing already done got on me and told me this better not be a long show, so it ain't. I'm gonna be in and out. You feel me? Yeah, yes. Listen to what they're saying in here. Like and subscribe. Subscribe. We're trying to get that YouTube page to come up, and it's been going very, very well. And I'd like to thank and shout out to everybody who has been a new subscriber to the page. We got over like 100 within the 30 days, so that's been awesome. And it's been really just y'all. So I'd like to give a shout out to everybody with that. Also, shout outs to Silver and Blue Nation, producer G. He's out there doing his thing. He's out there grinding, getting his work on. You know, he's out there in Cali, got to pay them bills. So, you know, we get paid with doing this, but we also got to get them jobs elsewhere as well. Shout out to the Cowboys experience. If you're trying to learn and find out more about the Cowboys experience, trying to go to actual football game, to a Cowboys game this season, holler at me. Great deals going on. Some of the top. I'm looking at the rates across the board. One of the lowest rates in town. If you're trying to get to a real Cowboys game, if you're trying to get an experience like no other, food, drink, fanfare, you can go to the restaurant the day before and get to see players, get autographs, all the works. I mean, it's whatever you want to do with it. Come find me, jump in my inbox, Big Game James inbox, and come see me. And we're trying to get the best deal for you and try to get you out there. I'm going to be out there. Try to get out there as many as home games as I can at least. I'm trying to get all home games. Let me just keep it all the way real. But definitely going to be out there main game with that's going to be hosted by me, Big Game James, the Miami game. So make sure you check it out and get my inbox so we can get out there and kick it as well. So without that further ado, shout out to everybody, as I said before. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies out there, to all the moms out there. Let me not be rude. Let me definitely give a shout out to all the moms out there that's been out there raising all these kids, bad or good. We appreciate you. If it wasn't for you, it wasn't for my mother. Shout out to her. I actually lost her phone number. I switched phone numbers, and I lost her phone number, so I had to call my son, and he ain't give it to me, so I just had to inbox her like, Happy Mother's Day, don't be mad. So hopefully I can get her number so she'll remember. But shout outs to my mother. I appreciate everything she did for me. She always pushed me. She always pushed me to be great. Even when I don't want to, she always stayed on me. She always gave me the best advice. She's always loved me no matter what. And I just truly am blessed to have her, because when I think about it now at my age, I think about a lot of things that I know and remember, and a lot of the wisdom that I have is not through any other people but my mother. So 100% shout outs to my mom and everything she's done for me in my life. And shout out to all the mothers out there that's doing everything for their kids. Shout out to my boo thing. Happy Mother's Day to her. She has been great with the kids. She takes care of them like no other, and she be handling her business. And it's it's an everyday job, and she's always on top of her business. So shout out to the boo thing out there. I love you, and I appreciate you, and you've been so great to the kids. Anyway, not to get any more sentimental than that, let's talk about these little draft picks. You know what I mean? Let's talk about this little mini camp. Now, I'm gonna be the first to tell you about this mini camp thing. I don't know. You know, when I'm talking about the players that they, within the mini camp, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't get to see a lot of it with my own eyes. I'm gonna show you a little bit of highlights from Mark Anthony Fitness. I believe that's Mark Holmes' son. He has some good highlights out there. I'll show you a little bit of those. But personally, we can go on what Brian Broaddus said, because even they only got to really see 2 days. They didn't get to see Sunday. But to me, it's just a lot of hearsay, because I like to see things with my own eyes now. When I got to go to training camp last year, that was my first time going to training camp, but it was more on the media side. It wasn't going on a fan side. It was more on the media side. You see a lot of different things. You see your perspective instead of seeing a person's through another person's eyes, because they can be telling you one thing and they could be seeing something that's okay, but I could be seeing something totally different, and I know a little bit about this game myself, so I can know I can trust my eyes as well when I see these players play the game in practice. So I'm kind of feel bad that I'm not actually there so I can get the real. But we're going to go by what a lot of people are saying within the Cowboys Comcast about what they're saying. First of all, hearing a lot of good things about Tony Pollard. One of the big things, the running back that was drafted from Memphis in the 4th round, one of the big things I've been hearing about Tony Pollard is that he is just not a gadget player. That's what has been spoken about even when he was drafted. First thing about Tony Pollard, he did share time at Memphis with Darrell Henderson, and Darrell Henderson was a nice running back in his own right. And, Pollard didn't really get the carries. You was getting a lot of more kick returns, a lot in the slot receiving, punt return. Just you had him line him in dual backfield. You could do a lot of things with him because he's versatile and he has a good size. But as you see, if you watch, go and check out Vosh Lombardi. If you go check him out, I'm telling you, the kid can run the ball too. And I've already been hearing about Brian Broaddus, and I was already thinking about this on myself. I think I said this a couple of weeks ago on the show, that you're going to see a lot of two-back sets with Kellen Moore. I think he's really going to highlight, especially if you got Dak in the shotgun, I definitely think you're going to see a Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield, two-back sets with Dak in that shotgun, because I'm telling you, that's going to put the defense on his heels, especially if Tony Pollard shows a little bit early in this preseason. We already had the little injury bug, and I'm going to jump on that right quick as well. But shout outs to everybody. But if Tony Pollard shows up early in these, in the kicking game, or he's grasping on to the playbook early in these preseason games, I'm telling you, man, that's going to have the defense worried, because when you got an Ezekiel Elliott, and you seen what Tony Pollard did in those highlights, I showed those a few weeks ago as well. 7 kick returns in school, and they were electrifying. They weren't easy ones. There were times he got hit multiple times, has great balance, and he's not like he has the wheels, like he's not like a 4-1 guy, but he has enough wheels that when he gets through, he's gone, and he has good size, and I think that's what I like. When we were talking about trying to get that gadget player, that guy that could really offset, like a DeMarco Murray when we had him, or Ezekiel Elliott, we were talking about having that Lance Dunbar type. Well, this is the type that we've been talking about, but bigger, and that's what I wanted. Because too many times that I saw Lance Dunbar, as good as he was as far as the speed element, too small, too little. I want a guy that's got some good size, can take some hits and still take it to the house, and that's what Tony Pollard, to me, brings to the table. 6 foot, 208, 210 pounds, and if you really seen him in his interviews and just really listen to him talk, the kid really, to me, has a chip on his shoulder, and I think he's really itching to prove that he's more than just a one-trick pony type of player, and I think he's going to show a lot of that, and I think Kellen Moore is really going to open that element of his game, and you're going to see it in the forefront. Yes, you're going to see him in the slot. Yeah, you might see him split out wide, doing some gadget plays, maybe a reverse here and there, a fake reverse, a jet sweep. They're going to do all those type of things to really get him the ball. And the more he gets that ball and can get his surf churning, the better it's going to be for the offense and Ezekiel Elliott as a whole. So that's one of the kids that they've been talking about, Gary Brown, the running backs coach, who I really highly respect, and what he's done a good job with all the running backs that's been there. He's really saying that he's more than a one-trick pony. He can really run that ball, and the thing that he was saying as well is his size. So that's, to me, is one of the standouts and one of the guys that's really going to be a player for us, and I really think that's going to turn out to be a good pick from the Dallas Cowboys. Just from me saying that, let me kind of get your thoughts. How do y'all feel about Tony Pollard? Now, I asked y'all like a few times earlier, but I can ask y'all again because maybe everybody wasn't in here. So, thoughts? Think Tony Pollard? Think he might be that extra juice guy? Do you think he might be that guy? I like asking y'all because I want to hear your thoughts on this while I'm in here right quick. And like I said, shout out, what's up, Jamal Williams, Sheila Nels, I said, Meticulous Cowboy 86, Tavis Banks, what's up with you? Donovan, Flows Infinite, what's up? Law Nation, what's up with you, big dog? Salute as always. Stevie Mac 23. Oh, he's hanging out with Danton Jones. Nice. That's what's up. What up? What up? What up? Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, I just really feel like the Tony Pollard thing is just really gonna go. Let me see if I can get some highlights here. I don't want to slow down on internet because sometimes it be doing it, and I really don't want that. But we're gonna see right here, as I see if I can switch on. Let me see if we can get in there right quick. But yeah, I really feel I got some little highlights going here. See the little guys working out. Like I said, shout out to um, Mark Anthony for the video right quick. As you see a little bit of Tristan Hill. I think he's going to be a good pick. A lot have been talking about he can play the under tackle. He can play multiple positions along the line. As you see the guys getting some workouts. But I think Tristan Hill is another guy who, to me, is going to be somebody who's going to be a really good player for us. I think just listening to him in his interviews, real soft spoken kid, but you can tell he has confidence about him. You can tell he's a guy that is I don't know where he got the uncoachable thing. I think he's a kid that when you look at him and when you listen to him, he's opinionated, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I also think he's a kid that wants to be coached and he wants to be great, and he has a lot of excitement. And I think he's going to slide right in. He had a little quote that he said he feels like he's going to slide right in the game, and they're not going to miss a beat. And I tend to agree with that. I really think that he will be a kid that's going to come right in and don't think he's going to miss a beat. And when I listen to Brian Broaddus and some of the things that he was saying about Tristan Hill, how he was attacking down the line, moving, coming off the line certain ways, he was saying in the beginning that he was saying that he wasn't really possibly taught those techniques, but Rob Marinelli has really had a good hand on him and really been working on him. And the things that he was missing kind of early, he's grasping on quicker. And so that really tells me that he's a kid that is a fast learner and is a guy that wants to know things, a guy who wants to get better, a guy who wants to learn the scheme. So I think Rob Marinelli fell in love with him when he got to work him out, and I think the kid's just going to get better. And this draft is just a really good draft, and we had some critics talking about maybe this wasn't the greatest draft for the Cowboys, but to me, they got a lot where they need and some players that probably didn't. Maybe people won't think will make an impact with the Cowboys, like when we're talking about a Donovan Wilson, maybe a possible Jalen Jokes. That's another kid that went to the 7th round, and I don't know how he did it because all I've been hearing is high marks from him. And when you watch his game, you see, man, with the moves that he has and the athletic ability he has, you wonder how that kid, and playing at Oregon, he lasted to the 7th round. So, we're going to talk about a few more guys like that. But as you see a few more, I think that's Gary Brown right there walking with Tony Pollard as I see, kind of get that down. Let me see if I can move that down some. But kind of get your thoughts on these draft picks right quick. As I brought up some Tony Pollard, I definitely think he's going to be a really good player. Tristan Hill is another guy who I think is really going to be a nice player for us. I actually wanted him in the mock draft. I said he was going to come and do a lot of things for the Cowboys. I think he was a player that we needed, and I just think he adds too. And especially with you got expiring contracts from these other guys, Malik Collins, Antoine Woods is only on a 1-year deal. Daniel Ross is on a 1-year deal. Even the kid Christian Covington, I believe, are all on 1-year deals. So you have a guy that's here for the future, and he can play different positions along that line. So I think that was a great pick. I think Rob Marinelli is really going to coach him up, and I don't think we're going to really see the issues that you may say. Maybe you might see some maturity issues here and there, but these kids are young. But when you really think of the talent, and I think when you talk to him and how I think Marinelli is going to take him under his wing, and that's what I really see. Marinelli, I think that might be his pet cat. People got pet cats when they get drafted. Players got pet. You say, Tony Pollard, he's my pet cat because he just can do a lot of things. I think that's Marinelli's guy, and I think that's his pet cat, and he really wants to see him be successful. And I really think Tristan Hill is going to be successful. So when you see Tony Pollard getting picked up, you see Tristan Hill, McGovern, Connor McGovern. They were working out Connor McGovern as well. And, he played guard at Penn State, but he played center as well. You've seen him working in at the lineup. They said he was playing almost exclusively as center. So you got another player who they may be preparing to, who never knows with Travis Frederick. You see he had the disease, he had the injury, he sat out all last season. You have a great backup in Joe Looney. But as I said before, you drafted Connor McGovern to be a future player on your offensive line. So you've seen him playing center. That could be something to where, hey, you never know. I just know the boys like having players that are very versatile. Even Kellen Moore, in an interview with him, he was talking about having versatile players. And that's another player, Connor McGovern, who's a versatile player. He can play multiple positions. He can play guard. He can play center. He can play left guard, right guard, center position. That's what you need. And if you have injuries along the line, somebody can step right in and not miss a beat, i.e. Joe Looney. We had him at guard before Travis Frederick was hurt, but he played a little bit of center as well, and he was playing backup center even before Frederick got hurt. You saw what happened when Frederick goes down. Joe Looney steps in right at center, and I don't feel you really didn't miss a beat if you look at the line as a whole as far as him making calls and the production that Ezekiel Elliott had this past season. Kind of get your thoughts on what we're talking about right now, the Cowboys mini camp excitement. Only the Debbie Downer of the couple days was hearing about Mike Weber. I think that's Weber right there, number 40. If you see him, that's Tony Pollard and Mike Weber. So this was day one, actually, so it wasn't day two. So this was actually day one that you get to see, and I believe that's Joe Brown. And the Sixers knock out the Raptors knocked out the Sixers, as I just seen come over, flash over. So I heard about Brett Brown. The Sixers coach is going to get fired or may get fired if he didn't get to the finals. So you may see the last of some Brown from the Sixers as the Toronto Raptors get past them. So you got the Raptors advancing. You had the Portland Trail Blazers advancing, which, man, I don't know about y'all, but I posted this on my page that them Portland Trail Blazers, dog, if you ever played 2K19, man, I'm telling you, first of all, Damian Lillard and McCollum, they play just like that on 2K19. I hate when my son plays with them on 2K19 because he be whipping my tail. Like, I can whip him on and my son is good, but I can get at him. And I might be old school, but I'm good at 2K. Like, I've been there since Boston Celtics. I've been there since Larry Bird, Dr. J on the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? I've been there in the beginning. So my game has evolved. So I'm going to give myself a lot of props from letting my game evolve. My game has evolved from Atari, y'all. I had Atari. My game has advanced from Atari, ColecoVision, all that until now. So to me, I am a banger. I am a dog. I am a beast. I am a monster. Because not a lot of old schools can start from the Atari and bang all the way to 2K. Not a lot of guys can do it. They can't be the old school and bang with these young boys. But I can still bang with these young boys. But when my son plays with them Portland Trail Blazers and he plays with McCollum and Lillard, man, they are a problem, and they play just like that. So salutes to them. Guys advancing to the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference Finals. I just thought I'd throw that in real quick. As you see the guys on the line, sorry about that. Had my little basketball moment. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah. NBA jams too, man. I had NBA jams. I had all that, yo. I had like every daggone game, for real. Straight up. Yes. And you can also donate. You ain't got to just share and like. You can donate. Get in that super chat and donate. I told you everybody donates something for somebody. So, hey, that stuff we are doing, I've been doing out there ain't free. It costs money. Put that money in the pot. Donation. As I did a couple weeks ago. Donation. Feel me? Anyway. But I got 3 guys that I've already talked to y'all, been excited about, and it's like our first 3 picks. Tristan Hill, McGovern, and Pollard. So right now, you already are sitting there thinking, man, the draft is good. But you know what? I was listening to the interview of some couple other guys. That kid, Michael Jackson, that kid, he said he was talking to Chris Richard, and he said, I don't care what you got to do, Richard. You just make sure you get me. And Richard went and got him. And I think that Michael Jackson kid, watch out, Byron Jones. And I'm not forecasting Byron Jones get the hell on, or not forecasting you got to go somewhere or bye-bye. I'm not forecasting none of that. But, man, watch out for this Michael Jackson kid. he just seems like he has an attitude. And if you watch some of his games, he's a very physical type cornerback. He's got a physical stature, 6'1", 210 pounds, and he's physical, and that's what Rashard likes. A lot of the corners, he likes them big and long and strong because he wants guys to get jammed at the line. I don't think he really cares about interceptions like that, but he wants physical balls batted down, things of that nature. But to me, this Michael Jackson kid, I think he could be a player, man. I think he's somebody that really could be somebody who might really make a big difference on the team this year. I think he really may make a difference. I just feel, listening to him in his interviews and just watching him go about his business, I feel like he can come in, maybe not start or nothing like that. We got our starters in Jones and Cheeto, but get in that heavy rotation and make some plays. I just something about him I like. I don't know really what it is. I haven't seen the tape on him. I'm not gonna lie and say his tape was super impressive to me. It was good, but it wasn't like super impressive. But this is something I like about him, and I think it's his attitude. And he's from. I mean, he plays with the U, so anybody who plays with the U, what more can I say? But I like the draft already. I like the players we have. You got some guys right there that just exciting, man. That's the thing I can really say. I'm just really excited about this class. I think it's a really good, solid class for the Cowboys. As I said, throwing out that kid, Jalen Jenks, defensive end from Oregon. He's another guy. Yes, I mean, I keep naming these guys like Donovan Wilson. We just got Donovan Wilson. You know what I mean? And when you listen to Donovan Wilson, the safety from Texas A&M, I mean, it's not like he was a bum. It wasn't like he was a bum in college. He played 4 years, and I mean, he had 1 year he didn't play. It was because of an injury. But when he had very productive, strong years with the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these were years that he was very productive. These were years where, I mean, he made a difference on the team, and he just physical. He's a physical guy. He's an exciting guy, and it just when you listen to his interviews when they called him, it was like he's gonna get. He was like he was promising the Cowboys, I'm gonna give you everything I got, and I could really feel him. Like, yo, I felt him, I believed him. It was like, yo, I'm glad we got this dude on our team. Like, I'm glad we brought this kid on the table. Like, attitude is also infectious. You can have the talent like no other. But that attitude and that dog-like spirit is what really kind of just takes the team over the top. And he has an attitude, man. You know what I'm saying? The guys that we brought on the team have attitudes. And I like that. And when you see with Stephen Jones and Willie McClay, one of the things that the criteria that they really stress are guys that love football. Not guys are just trying to get the paycheck. We got it. We know it's a business. But guys who really are out there that love the game of football. And I think that's what really the Cowboys have. Guys who really love the game of football. Guys who are really passionate. Guys who really care. Guys who really care about the team. Guys who want to make a difference. And guys who love competition and who love to compete. And when you have all them elements, those elements make your team so much better and so much stronger, and it makes your team become one. And when your team becomes one, it becomes unstoppable. And when it becomes unstoppable, that's when you make it to the Super Bowl. That's when you make it to the NFC Championships. That's when you get to the Super Bowl. And that's when you're constantly making it to the playoffs every single year, and there's no more than inconsistency because you have one mind and one accord as far as the football game goes. Whew, I said a lot right there, man. Jeez. Oh, yes. Say good night to my lovely ladies, my three little lovely ladies. Shout out to them, Natalia, Mackenzie, and Aaliyah. Shout out to y'all. Good night, little babies. They're not really babies, but 3 beauties. Go to bed. Love y'all. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Yes, we just got a lot of guys. let me get y'all's opinion. Y'all been talking a lot. Sometimes I feel like I talk too much. I want to get your guys' opinion. Are y'all hyped about this draft? Are y'all hyped about these players? I hear Mitch Hyde. I heard he struggled a little bit just from what I heard from Brian Broaddus. Got to meet that guy. That dude is he's A1. He was super cool, talking to me. But listen to Brian Broaddus said he struggled a little bit. There was a kid from I think Brandon Knight, I believe, from Indiana was looking good. Pui from Southwest Texas State, Southwest Missouri State, I believe. Big guy. He played tackle. They were putting him at guard, and he's every bit of 335 pounds. So I think, Southwest Missouri State, I believe that's where he came from. But, they're moving a lot of guys along the line, so they said Hyatt has to step up a little bit, was a little slow and getting the calls. And also, another thing I heard about Donovan Wilson from the scouts out there saying that looked like Chris Richard was trying to test the guys' knowledge in the mini camps, seeing where their thought pattern was, seeing if they were going to remember calls. And Donovan Wilson, from what I hear, was one of the guys who did not have any problems, was making all the calls, was making all the cadence, knew when the plays were changing. So that's exciting right there. Maybe he can compete for a position this year. Maybe. I can't look at there and say sixth rounder. He can't do it because guess what? We have another guy that's a starting safety that's a sixth rounder, and his name is Xavier Woods. And he is looked at as the future. And that's only been 2 years ago. So to say, and you have another guy who was undrafted back there, Jeff Heath. You get what I'm saying? So when you look at it, Donovan Wilson has a chance. And he has a chance this year. And if he can continue to improve, who knows what happens? Just sitting here taking a little minute right here. I want to listen to y'all's comments right here. Shout out to everybody who's been taking in. And let's also talk about the Westery kid from Kentucky. He's been turning heads from his size. They say he's almost staying near a solid 6'5". The last guy we had somebody tall like that was, I remember, Patrick Watkins from Florida State. He was our safety. And I was really wanting him to do something because I seen that size 6'5" at safety, and I was really wanting him to do something. Played a little bit for the Cowboys. Didn't do bad, but didn't really do great. But this Westery kid, every bit of 6'5", they said he's got long legs. Michael Jackson looked at him and said, "Are you supposed to be playing corner with them legs?" So probably has a little bit of ways to go, but I really think the Cowboys do not want to lose him. I think they are really in love with him. I think they were jumping up for joy, doing cartwheels when they found out he didn't get drafted. They were one of the eyes. I know for sure Chris Richard had his eyes on him, and I think that's a pet cat for him. Him and Michael Jackson. I think he really got the guys he wanted. Besides getting like an Isaiah Johnson or a Joe Jawan Williams, I think those were the second-tier type guys that he wanted, and they fell into his lap. So I think he's really going to put his hand on them, and those are guys that he can look at to possibly being future guys. Just like you had the situation with the defensive front as far as the defensive tackle position, a lot of those guys, their contracts are going to be up. You have two guys that have been playing a lot with the Cowboys and been mainstays. Byron Jones, number one. We'll see what happens with him. And then Anthony Brown, his contract is going to be up as well. So you could be looking at a situation where you could have a Michael Jackson and a Chris Westery. Or you have a Tristan DeCloud. You still have Donovan Alumba, who's 6'2", both 6'3", actually, long arms. Tristan DeCloud played safety and corner. He's 6'2", and these guys are relatively all young. So it's going to be some heavy competition, and we're going to see if the Cowboys they're going to move on from Byron Jones, or they're going to re-sign him. We'll see. So it'll be interesting to see how the cornerback position is played out in training camp and also the season. And another things, make sure you get out there and check out Silver and Blue Nation Big Game Jams, because we will be out there. G is already out there in California already. I'm going to be out there for training camp again this year. I was out there just for we was out there for a couple practices. We was out there last year for a couple practices, and I did the blue on white scrimmage up there last year. But this season, I'm trying to get there longer, at least be there a whole week. and get there and see a whole practice and get y'all that good coverage because camp was good last year. You know, I got to see some of my dogs, but this camp I'm really more in tune because I really want to see, you know, Robert Quinn. I really want to see Randall Cobb. You know, I want to see these, Covington. I want to see Hyder. I want to see this competition going on in camp is going to be fierce and it's going to be heavy. And guys are going to be cut off the team this year that are going to be some good players. And that's when you know your team is getting to where you want it to be. You know your team is in trouble when you're cutting guys or you're trying to keep guys that should be cut a long time ago, but you're holding on to them because you ain't got nobody else because you haven't drafted good or you got rid of players, blah, blah, blah. But now you're in a situation where the Cowboys are going to cut players that you're going to like, dang, he got cut. We didn't want to get rid of him. But you're looking at the first and second team, and they're like, well, we're still dogs at that position. That's what you want to get excited about, and that's what it's coming into now as I see with the Cowboys. They're going to be cutting guys that you don't want to cut. But we're so good that we're able to do that, and that's a testament to the drafting and the good mind frame of Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones. You know, they're doing a good job right now. Willie McClay, they're having a little run right here as far as drafting and the free agency tips. So it's going to be a lot of good competition. I'm going to really get to see it firsthand. I want to see these rookies. I want to see how they perform. I want to see this defensive line. I want to see this safety position. The receiver position is going to be real hot and heavy. You got a lot of guys. They got just to throw some guys in here. Guys, I think another guy that I wanted to throw a shout out. Sorry, this name slipped my mind. Jalen Guyton. That kid right there, I think he's going to be a problem with the Cowboys. I think he's going to make the squad, and I think he's going to make a difference. I don't know if it's this year, but I called it. I'm calling it right here. Jalen Guyton. Remember the name, the kid from North Texas. He 6'2", 205-pound receiver, 4.39 speed. Just something about him. Watching him, check him out, yo. Watch for Jalen Guyton. He's gonna make the team, and he's gonna be a player for the Cowboys. Watch. I think he might get like a Noah Brown off the roster. You know how they've been keeping Noah Brown or Allen Hurns. You know how they've been keeping them guys. If Jalen Guyton brings what I think he can bring to the table, he's not just a deep threat. He's a guy that can hit in intermediate routes. He's a physical receiver. I think he's really Sanjay Lyle's really gonna get his hands on him and really get him even better. And I think he's going to push one of these veteran guys off the roster. And I think Noah Brown and I think Allen Hurns' position are in trouble. And if Jalen Guyton shows improve like I think he can, he's going to knock one of those guys off the roster. And that's what I'm calling right now. Yes. And they got an MRI with Mike Weber. I'm praying because they said he jogged back out on the field and was with the other guys. But I'm praying that Mike Weber doesn't have a major injury because I really think that combo that they drafted with Mike Weber and Tony Pollard will be awesome with Zeke. That three-headed little monster would be nasty. So we're praying because, I mean, if you saw the little bit of highlights of what Mike Weber's stocky put together, just like kind of Zeke, just a little bit smaller, I mean, and you see Mike Weber's got some nice size, and Zeke is every bit of 15, 20 pounds bigger than him. And Zeke built like a Mack truck. So I'm really hoping we get good news from the Mike Weber situation. They're waiting on the MRI, so definitely if you continue to check out the Big Game James Silver and Blue Nation page, I'm going to have it as close as at first as you can hear it. So make sure you just tune in, and I'll have that news for you as soon as possible with the situation with Mike Weber's knee. Hope it's nothing serious. I hope it's just one of those things where, you know, he just twisted it up or sprained it or something. You can just sit out. It was just a 3-day camp, and those guys can sit out a little bit, so hopefully it's nothing major because I do see him making a little bit of a contribution this year on the field as well. I really love the pick with Mike Weber. He was in my mock draft as well. I picked him in my mock draft, and I think that he can just make a good little backup for Zeke, down the line and give him some good reps when Zeke comes off the field. And I think we're just going to be an exciting team this year. I'm getting ready to close out. Chill here for a minute. But let me see. Oh yes, Kevin Beck. And you guys talk to me. Tell me what's on your mind about it. Before I get off of here, I always want to ask, I want this to be about me. Before I get off here, what's on your mind? Ask me something. I don't know everything, so it's not like you're asking a guru, but I'm a little bit of a guru. Not a super guru, but I'm a tiny guru. Got a little bit of guru. You know what I'm saying? Ask me, let's just kind of chat it up. I'll kind of listen to your comments and vibe off y'all right quick. Um, Dez Bryant, he ain't coming back to the Cowboys. I know that. He's not coming back to the Cowboys. Some people have said, do a 1-year deal for Dez on the cheap. That's not happening. When Stephen Jones is done with you, he done. And I don't, even when Dez came back for the fight, he was hugging Jerry Jones. He wasn't hugging Stephen. So I think the Dez thing is over, and so we probably should just talk about that. And it's not like Dez is 25 years old. Dez is like 30. So why would Dallas do that when they got the core of receivers that they have? That's not happening. What up, Cowboy Springs? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Tariq Saline, how much money do you think Dak needs to get paid? What the market says. People are talking about this $30 million in a trip, and this is all I'm going to say about the money situation. I think Dak should be paid up there with some of the best guys because his numbers, and he's drafted in the 4th round. He was not supposed to start, and if you look at his numbers, if you look at his win-loss, if you look at his fourth quarter comebacks, if you look at the completion percentage, touchdowns compared to interceptions, the man deserves a very hefty raise. These guys out there, if Tony Garoppolo, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, if these guys are getting and they're not winning anything, then why shouldn't Dak Prescott be making that money? And as I said before, Stephen Jones and them are going to cover their backs. They're not going to give some long-term deal to this kid and just say we're going to throw all our money away. No, they're going to front-load the contract. They're going to protect themselves so if Dak fails or falls off within a couple years, they can get rid of themselves and move on. So why not? It's not a big deal, and the cap is going to move up. So let it go. Support your quarterback, and he deserves to get paid big money because he has worked his butt off, and the numbers show it. Thurston Howe, you asked me about what does our D-line depth look like to you. It looks great right now. Like I said, you got right now, if you look at the defensive tackle rotation, you got Kristen Covington, you got Malik Collins, you got Antoine Woods, you got Daniel Ross, and then you got your rookie pick in Tristan Hill. If you look at and you can still slide Tyrone Crawford in there. Then you look at our defensive end position. You got Quinn, you got Taco, you got Dorrance Armstrong Jr., you still got DeMarcus Lawrence. You got Kerry Hyder. Also, who else did we get? Jalen Jelks. You got Joe Jackson. You got a plethora. The D line looks great, and some people are going to get cut off their roster that you're going to be like, dang, he got cut. That's how deep it is. You're going to lose some guys, and some undrafted people may take some guys' positions that have been on the team. So guys who have been on the squad better watch out because this is going to be some fierce competition. And if you don't bring your A game and don't bring it every week, you're going to find yourself playing for a new team or find yourself cut, as I see it on the Cowboys, because, I think the mindset is trying to get this championship, and they're building the team the right way, as they always say, and it's tired of falling short every single year. So we don't have time for just keeping a player on the team because it's the name. The name sounds good. He's a name player. No, it doesn't matter if you're a name or no name. If you're better, that's what should be happening. You should be playing and making the plays on the field, and I think that's what the Cowboys are going to go about. Rare is Rico Gathers. Rico Gathers. You know what? I was real high on the Rico Gathers experience the first year. Second year, I was like, I don't really know what's going on with Rico. We got Jason Witten, who's not going to come off that field. I don't know what y'all be thinking about. Jason Witten's going to be playing football. Blake Jarwin came on toward the end. Dalton Schultz was drafted in the 4th round. They got to see what he is, and I think they really like Blake Jarwin. I called Blake Jarwin last year. Let me give me a pat myself on my back, and if I could give myself a clue bomb like they do what Charlamagne the God does, I would give myself a clue bomb because I did call that Blake Jarwin a couple years ago. Just saying. But, yeah, who knows about Rico? I can't really say. I don't think they're really going to do is trade him, but we'll see. I don't know if they're going to keep 4 tight ends on the roster this season. All I can say is we'll see what happens. I don't. All I'm gonna say is I have no expectations any longer for Rico Gathers. And yes, I believe you made that comparison before about Stephen McNair, and I will say um, he has that build. And when you look at even when them throwing the ball, because McNair to me was never a great throwing quarterback. Like I didn't think McNair was killing you throwing that ball all game. McNair was killing you with that leadership, that guts, that will to win. That's going to play every game, no matter hurt, injured or not. That guy that's going to make the big pass. He's going to make the big run, or he's going to make the big play. And McNair, you just believed with him. You just believed that you could win with McNair. And I think that's a great comparison with McNair. Tristan Hill, Warren Sapp, that's a little bit high comparison. That's slow those brakes. Warren Sapp was nasty. First of all, Warren Sapp was nasty at Miami, at University of Miami, and those are two different divisions. And he was nasty in college, so I'm not even gonna make no comparison with that. I'm gonna just say let's see what Hill can do. Let's see what kind of a player he can be. Let's see what can happen to him. I think he can be a very good player, but Warren Sapp, I'm not saying nothing like that right now. But we'll see. But I'm like I said, I'm about to head off here, y'all. About to get me some sleep. Long morning tomorrow. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Make sure you tune in to Silver and Blue Nation. Appreciate everybody that was in the show today. Thank you for all the great comments and the love. Like I said, don't just sit there and be in the comments. Like and share. I mean, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to our YouTube page. Like I said, our subscription has been going crazy this past month, and we want to keep it going up. And donate. Like I said, we ain't trying to sound like no bums or nothing like that, begging for money. But at the end of the day, this does cost to keep this stuff running. All this stuff that we do, like I said, getting out here to these camps, this is not just because I want to get out there and just say I want to go out there and look at the Cowboys. I want to get the coverage. I'm in media. Okay, we went to with school for this. We grinded for this, so I want to get the best type of coverage for you guys. So that still costs. So if you want to like, donate, subscribe to our Facebook page, Silver and Blue Nation YouTube. We also have a Twitter account. Also check out our Instagram. Make sure you just continue to like and share and support. Once again, believe next week I'm be hopefully if it's going this week. Anthony Wright, former Cowboys quarterback, um, played for the University of South Carolina, played with the Cowboys for a couple years, started about 4 or 5 games, had that little era with Quincy Carter, that type of deal. We talked a little bit back and forth about Dak Prescott and his thoughts. I wanted the quarterback's perspective, on what quarterbacks see playing in the NFL and things of that nature. So we're gonna have him on, former Cowboys quarterback, and more interviews this year. I'll be at the Cowboys Experience. I will be at games, and hey, we'll have those great interviews, that up close depth noise, whatever's going on. We're trying to get it for you. So just continue to like and subscribe to the page. Continue to help Silver and Blue Nation, Big Game James grow. Big things are headed for what we're trying to do with the Cowboys Experience. Media Row, shout out to Law Nation, Vosh Lombardi, Foots the King, Tyson West Coast, Mark Holmes, DDP, Dallas Prospect, everybody who's out there, how we've all kind of Okoye, just a lot of all the guys I've had a chance to work with in this short period of time. Appreciate their grind and their knowledge. So make sure you like and support them as well. And we're just going to try to make this one big thing and make this happen. And let's get this quest for 6 this season, y'all. So salutes. Shout out to all y'all. And I will be talking to y'all soon. Hope y'all like the show. And to come holler at me soon. Big Game James, Silver and Blue Nation, signing off. Peace.